Hi, welcome again to another season of The Big Match. Again this year, we want you to enjoy the many sides of football and not least, of course, the very best of the action. And we start the season once more with goals and thrills from 3 of yesterday's games. And our main match is Arsenal against Leeds United, the club where Jock Stein could become the manager in the next 24 hours. Also Norwich, with Martin Chivers back in action again against Southampton, fresh back into the First Division. And from the Second Division, Sheffield United with another Argentinian, Sabella. He's in action against Orient. But first we go across to North London, to the Sunshine, to join a crowd of 42,000 for Arsenal against Leeds, and see first a familiar London football landmark.
So the famous Highbury clock moves round towards the start of another football season, and for Arsenal, a problem on this opening day. Skipper Pat Rice and forward Graham Rix both have foot injuries and are out. And in for the first game of this season, our 20-year-old defender from Dublin, John Devine. This is only his 3rd game in the first team. And in attack now is 18-year-old Jimmy Harvey from Northern Ireland, only 1 first-team game behind him. So here then is the Arsenal lineup. Pat Jennings is now the skipper, and Malcolm McDonald is back to look for another 25 goals this season. During the summer, he's had a cartilage operation, and I'm glad to tell you he's become a father for the 4th time, all of them girls. Well, what about the Leeds United side today? They come here chosen by backroom man Maurice Lindley. A big decision for him this morning to say that David Harvey is in goal, now just about recovered from an ankle injury. David's had no full game during the pre-season, and he's also got John Hawley up front, a £75,000 buy from Hull City. So this then is the new man in the Leeds side, striker John Hawley, and last season for Hull he was on the target only 5 times. The referee today is Ray Tosland from Market Harborough, and now the crowd is ready for the start, for the sunshine and for some football. So here we go then, the start of another season. Arsenal attacking the goal to our right, in red shirts with white sleeves. Leeds all in yellow as Willie Young pumps the ball forward there, Madeley getting it away only as far as Brady. And as well as John Devine and Jimmy Harvey in the Arsenal side, an unfamiliar face also on the substitute bench today for Arsenal, an Australian, John Kosmina. Hart winning it, but pushing down on Sunderland. And Brady with the kick. Nelson come up unnoticed. Price right in there, backward header. And McDonald couldn't quite get it, maybe Stapleton would, but a lovely move that by Arsenal. Beautiful understanding. It's a throw for Leeds. O'Leary, heading it straight down for Eddie Gray. Tony Curry. Gray again, back to his brother Frank Gray. Eddie Gray, nice touch that. Arthur Graham. Heard how well John Devine came back and robbed him. O'Leary really hustled out of that one, and the chip just too strong for Arthur Graham. Now Brady. The long ball forward. Chase that, he says, to McDonald. And McDonald hitting it across the goal, but not accurate enough. And Madeley was able to do the retrieving job. Good break by Arsenal. And McDonald just maybe 3 yards wide of his 250th goal in first-class football. Young again. Played it into trouble there. And Curry sending Eddie Gray on his way. Hawley and Arthur Graham are up, and Curry made a beautiful overlap. Oh, and what a beautiful goal by Tony Curry! What an amazing goal with 7 minutes gone. Well, the World Cup obviously didn't have the copyright on shooting from distance, and Tony Curry, who's hit 1 or 2 spectacular goals towards the end of last season for England, has now pulled that beautiful one out of the bag for Leeds United. Arsenal 0, Leeds United 1, and just 8 minutes now gone. Gray. Past Willie Young. Hawley's waiting in the middle. A chance for Hawley to make it number 2, and he very nearly did. And really he should have done. The mistake was Willie Young's, and Eddie Gray pounced on it. Hawley took up a good position, but hit it against the body of Jennings. In the front row there, in the spectacles on the left of the picture, England manager Ron Greenwood. Flynn. They are pushing themselves forward well, Leeds United here, and are this one goal in the lead, scored by Curry, the man on the ball at the moment. Beautiful chip there by Curry. What a delightful piece of play for Frank Gray. Well, I thought that was going to come for Graham. Brady getting it away. And now Nelson, bursting from the back. Stapleton away one side of him. Here's Stapleton. Harvey, and the yellow shirts converge on him, and 3 against 1 just didn't go for Jim Harvey. And it's Curry now for Leeds United. How about that for a ball? Oh. Harris just didn't have to move, and now he's moving, and that's a shot taken almost with comfort there by Pat Jennings. Well, there's the star of the show so far, Tony Curry. I fancy we might see 1 or 2 players as the afternoon wears on, collapsing a little bit with cramp from the heat. And the linesman flagging furiously, giving a free kick for Arsenal. With 26 minutes of the first half gone. Leeds hoping to start the season a little brighter than they finished the last one. They won only 1 of their last 7 last season. Brady chipping this one in. And Stapleton going a long way, and a penalty. Hart on Stapleton. As Brady chipped that in, the foul was by Paul Hart, shoving into the back of Frank Stapleton. Referee well spotted to see it. Brady, the man who's got to take this penalty now. And Arsenal with a chance to get back to 1-1, which is what they are. Brady, 8 penalties in his 13 goals last season. Dead-eyed Dick from that range, giving Harvey no chance. Arsenal 1, Leeds 1. 28 minutes gone. And here come Leeds again with Carl Harris. A long run. Oh, my word. And Arsenal carved wide open there by the run and the skill of Harris. MacDonald, very deep there, but switching it for Price. Here's Harvey. And on this side, oh, a lovely ball played by Harvey for Sunderland. Oh, and it hit Harvey in the face. One Harvey started it, and another finished it. Jimmy Harvey, a beautiful ball played there for Alan Sunderland. And as David Harvey came out, it looked to me as though Sunderland's shot hit him in the face and bounded clear. Nelson winning it. Played on for Stapleton. The last seconds of this first half. Can Arsenal snatch a second goal? Harvey finding a yard of space and a shot too high as the whistle goes for half-time. And the score at 1-1. With Tony Curry playing superbly there in the midfield for Leeds United and scoring the goal that put Leeds ahead after 8 minutes. And some beautiful midfield skills also coming from Arsenal's Liam Brady. Coming up next on the big match, the second half of this match, which promises so much. 2 other games played this weekend as well, after this break. Welcome back to Highbury. 1-1 the half-time. And Leeds now attacking the goal to our right. Nelson. Again, well intercepted by Madeley. think the temptation must be in this heat for players to allow the ball to come to them, but Madeley knew that that little bit of extra effort would cut out any danger for Leeds. But here's Nelson, the throw to Sunderland. Turned back nicely, Graham getting in there. So too is Flynn. Now what does he hope to achieve there? Well, it's an Arsenal throw, in fact. Certainly Brian Flynn is ever moving. I think they probably have to design a special small shirt for him. He's only 5'2". It's really almost a boy's size. MacDonald's backward header going wide. Off MacDonald, said the referee, goal kick. There's maybe a boy's size shirt. There's a real man in many ways inside Brian Flynn's shirt. Great little player. Keep going, he's saying to Carl Harris. Brady. Curry, Harris. Curry for Frank Gray. Paul Hart. He's got caught in possession there. Here are Arsenal marauding away again with MacDonald and Brady linking up well. Stapleton's up there. MacDonald's looking for it too. Oh, what a goal! The crowd enjoyed that. What cold-eyed finishing by Liam Brady. He looked up, it seemed, for 5 or 10 seconds to see what was on. Leeds were expecting that delicate cross. Instead, it was a ferocious left foot shot. Harvey got his hands to it, but could do nothing more. And Arsenal are 2-1 into the lead. Liam Brady's second goal, and Arsenal's two. And one that would have given him tremendous satisfaction. Brilliantly taken. Gray. Past Brady. Leeds have still got plenty left. Played in there, surely. Oh my word, what a miss by Carl Harris. That's the worst miss of the game. And after Gray had done so much work, a foul by Brady. And before we see it, let's have a look again. They're bringing on their substitute. Let's look how Gray teased them and laid on a superb chance there for Carl Harris. And Harris really couldn't be decisive enough, and the chance went spinning away. So a free kick which Curry will take for Leeds United. Quarter of an hour, the second half gone. Curry with the kick. Now Graham. Comfortably in the air. Gray. Now here's Madeley. Harris. Nelson beating him. Nelson. Donald versus Hart. No foul. And Harvey sliding out a lovely pass here for Madeley. We'll find Hawley. Nice touch by Hawley now for Harris. Eddie Gray. Well, between them, they beat him, Nelson and Brady. But Arsenal were well aware that Nelson might have needed a bit of support there. That's a fair ball there by Brady. Played in for Devine, and Devine doing well, very quickly finding Sunderland. That's another cross coming in from the young Irishman, and MacDonald is in there. That's no problem for Harvey. Just content to watch that go over. Bad ball. Oh, and Madeley a little fortunate now to get out of that one. And a beautiful ball played this time by Madeley for Carl Harris. Look at that sprinting. But again, a chance goes away. Fantastic acceleration by Harris. He really skinned Arsenal alive there until it came to dealing with Pat Jennings, who came out quickly, and the deflection was enough to give Leeds the corner, but not the goal. So Eddie Gray, left-footed, high there, towards Hawley, and a foul on David O'Leary, giving Arsenal a free kick. Brady, Harvey. Oh, what a good ball played for Sunderland. Oh, and some beautiful play in defence by Madeley. Cross back in again, though. Sunderland with the header, saved by Harvey. Two very good stepping attacks there by Arsenal. First time they were denied by Paul Madeley's very good intervention. And then the header by Alan Sunderland, grabbed as it came back in. The cross was grabbed by David Harvey. Hawley coming off his defender well. Curry trying to get Arthur Graham on his way, and that's going to be a free kick for Leeds. Quite right. Curry and Flynn quickly spotting that Graham was free on that far side, but Arsenal very quickly closed that gap, and Brady poking it out for MacDonald. And away he goes, a long run at this stage of the game in the heat, and it's not worrying him. And in the end, it's Madeley who gets it away. And a free kick for Leeds United. Still a lot of good defensive play left in Paul Madeley, that's without any doubt. Flynn. Harris. Flynn. Here's again Tony Curry, that little bit of acceleration, the cross coming in low. Cherry with a shot. Oh yes, 2-2. Well, Tony Curry made it, as he so often threatened to do. A bit of acceleration, a deceptively low cross. Trevor Cherry with more time than he had a right to expect, and a well-placed shot wide of Pat Jennings' right, and just inside. Arsenal 2, Leeds 2, and Arsenal have now brought on their substitute, John Kosmina, and it's David Price who's gone off. Stapleton, Kosmina. Opening it out nicely for Brady. Well, Brady's a man on a hat-trick. This would be the moment to get it. Oh. I think it deflected along the way there. None of that typical Brady power, but for a moment or two I think it had David Harvey worried. So they're pushing a lot of Arsenal players back, Terry Neal and Don Howe at the moment. Let's hold on to the point at the moment. as Leeds look a little bit menacing now in these last seconds of the game. Arthur Graham to Curry, Gray, and you get the impression too that Leeds themselves might be happy. Unless Tony Curry can do something with this. He's got a corner, and I think in his heart he was hoping for a little more than that. But he's had a wonderful game, Tony Curry. So a corner for Leeds, played for Curry. And a final whistle, and a really excellent way to start a new football season with two sides who've been prepared to go at each other and attack with great skill, producing also 4 goals, with Brady the 2 for Arsenal, the first from a penalty, the second a marvellous left-foot shot, and Tony Curry a brilliant shot that gave Leeds an early lead, and then their skipper Trevor Cherry from Tony Curry's pass, making that second equaliser. So a final score then at Highbury in shirt sleeve weather. Arsenal 2, Leeds 2.
Our second match today takes us into the second division for Sheffield United against Orient. Sheffield United, of course, who've been on a bit of a buying spree this summer with Alex Sabella of Argentina, the most interesting of their captures, while Orient seem to have had a summer of selling. Glenn Roeder to Queen's Park Rangers, Phil Hoadley to Norwich. So it's Sheffield United against Orient. The pictures from Yorkshire Television, the commentator's Martin Tyler with Sheffield United in the stripes.
Skidding off Gray, who might have been unsettled by the sun. Orient defenders with the sun in their eyes. Bobby Fischer. And quickly was Mickey Spate. Woodward to his right. Finiston waits in the middle. Spate has gone on. And Woodward, in the end, having his shot blocked by Fischer, but the first corner going to Sheffield United. And the applause ringing around the ground for Alex Sabella, who's come across to take it. Very much a left-footed player. Colin Franks has come up. Stainrod jumping, and it's gone in from Simon Stainrod. So the perfect start. And there's the delight from supporters who've come to see things happen at Bramall Lane this season. From Sabella's corner, Stainrod climbed so well at the far post. The deflection on the line couldn't stop it going in, and Sheffield United go in front in the 4th minute. Finiston. Taken up well by Hampson. Spate's gone to the near post. This is Mickey Spate. Well, there was 6 inches in it at the end. But it was beautifully worked on the left-hand side. Taken up by Hampson from Finiston. And Spate made it quite clear where he wanted it, and the flick was just wide. Turning past Tony Kenworthy, and what a magnificent strike at goal from Joe Mayo that has really brought Orient back into this. Kenworthy committed himself to go for the ball, and when he missed it, it was a clear side of goal for Joe Mayo. He struck it on the half volley and it fairly rattled past Conroy. It's 1-1 with 21 minutes gone. This is Garner. Kenworthy for Cutbush, and Spate with time. And a beautifully hit volley on the left foot from Mickey Spate. Bennett. Mayo, who checks away from his marker so well and then sets things up like that to Houghton on to Chidozie, and now Kitchen. Again looking to turn his man, but being forced away. Finding Houghton. Now Kitchen! It's 2-1, and Peter Kitchen's on his way again. And he'll have enjoyed that particularly, because Peter Kitchen was scrabbling around beforehand to get extra tickets for his relatives from nearby Mexborough to come and see him in action. And he puts Orient in front. The cross driven in from the right, and Kitchen got enough of a contact in it to beat Conroy's dive to his left, and he could only push it into the corner. 5 minutes to go to half-time. It's Sheffield United 1, Orient 2. Woodward. Finiston at the near post. Hampson waiting on the far side, and Jackson got across his line quickly to shovel it behind. It was a beautiful little chip from Woodward. Hampson trying to get all his weight behind the header, and Jackson doing so well to get across his line, and he got hurt putting it behind.
Our third game today comes from the First Division, where Norwich City, reinforced by the return to English football of Martin Chivers, the former Spurs star who's been in Switzerland, of course, now turning out, in fact, against one of his previous clubs, Southampton, who've really fought their way back into the First Division. So how would Chivers, and indeed the former Orient defender, Phil Hoadley, shape up? How would Southampton shape up to that new challenge of First Division football? Commentator Jerry Harrison explains. The pictures come from Anglia Television. Norwich here are in the plain shirts.
Baker getting it back to Pickering, and he's caught beautifully by Neighbour. It's a great effort, and it's not gone out, and Wells to the rescue there. What a fine bit of thinking by Jimmy Neighbour. The ball played back to Southampton defence, thinking still in second division terms, and Jimmy Neighbour put the squeeze on Pickering and almost lobbed that over the head of goalkeeper Peter Wells, but he did well, and the situation saved. And McDougall getting a dig in at Kevin Bond, and Peters misses out there as he comes in. Boyer, Curran out there. Sullivan goes to him, and Powell will have this one easily enough. Quickly to Neighbour, who's looking very enthusiastic. Peach has come over with him, and Williams has done a great job here. Williams is through, and here's McDougall. Grotesque miss. Ted McDougall, who usually makes his old clubs pay dearly for letting him go, had a great opportunity there. It was opened up for him by 21-year-old Steve Williams on that right, picking his way through the penalty area. A lot of space, changed direction. McDougall coming in a perfect position, but a miss. Ryan and Neighbour will have it. Gets away from Curran. Good play. In for Chivers, he gets it, and Peter's not quick enough as Williams takes it off him, and Boyer goes down the middle. This is dangerous. Boyer blocked, and McDougall couldn't get it as Sullivan got it away. And a goal kick given. Was that another miss by Ted McDougall, or was it a great save by Colin Sullivan? It was a save by Sullivan because the corner's now being given. But what a great through ball from Williams to Boyer. It looked wide open, a brilliant save by Keelan, and then again, of a different sort, a great save as McDougall came in by Sullivan. Here's a corner. Pickering can't get it. Boyer turning it back to Baker. Space here for Curran. Peach is just behind him. Curran can get by Bond. No. Good balance by the fullback. A lot of Southampton players still in there. Here goes Pickering. Ooh, yeah. Caught from Barnsley as a defender, and looking a bit like it there. Chivers with Pickering. Chivers again. Out to Robson. Forward for Reeves. It was aimed for anyhow. Didn't get there. Throw into Norwich. Neighbours crept into the penalty area. Reeves is out there wide. Robson's driven ball. Ryan can't quite get there, and rocketed onto the stand roof by Baker as Ryan came in and put the squeeze on him. Neighbour, Peters coming to the near post over his head and flicked it beautifully by Reeves. So Kevin Reeves, 7 minutes before half-time, opens the new season's account for Norwich City. Reeves, who's looked so impressive in the pre-season games, 5 goals in 6 games. He pulled the sucker punch here on Southampton. As Neighbour put the corner across, Peters went forward off the near post, dragged a couple of defenders with him. Reeves was left with a lot of room. The goalkeeper Wells didn't come to fill the gap, and he tucked it in nicely. 1-0. Williams in here. Williams with the cross. Bond's clearance, another great one. Baker can't control it. Chivers has got time. Neighbours there, and there's space down that right. Ryan, this is the sort of position he loves, with Reeves coming in towards the near post. But Waldron's there first, and now it's Ryan. A brilliant break, but it all hinged on a mistake by Malcolm Waldron, the Southampton defender. When that ball came down the right-hand side to Ryan, he was in a great position. He quickly saw Reeves coming in. Waldron should have had it. He had a little bit of support from his goalkeeper, but Reeves kept fighting. Waldron lost, and in the end it rolled invitingly to John Ryan, and it's 2-0. Boy is fouled, but Neighbour is warned. The game is allowed to go on, and that's another foul, and again the game allowed to go on as the ball comes through, finds Boyer in a good position. Chip over the head of Keelan, off the bar, beautiful play. Curran back again. Bond should have it away, and here it is. Well, a let-off there for Norwich City as they play the ball around outside the area. When Boyer went through there, goalkeeper had to come towards his near post. He chipped it over the top of him, but they were rescued by the bar. Sullivan to Peters. Square out there is Bond with a lot of room. He can go forward a long way. Peach has fallen into the middle. Out there is Neighbour now. Pickering with him. Neighbour's cross. There's Chivers. It's looking really good. Martin Chivers, returned from the wilderness of Switzerland, puts number 3 past goalkeeper Peter Wells. His first for Norwich City. A touch of the old Spurs there. Jimmy Neighbour left with a bit of room, just jinxed by Pickering. The chip onto the head of the big fella, and no trouble at all for Martin Chivers. 3-0, and his first for Norwich City. Waldron and ball. Williams. The rebound goes back to Williams and on to Curran. There's Hebbard here. Boyer just in front of him. Curran. Boyer found with a bit of room. Powell's there. And Sullivan. McDougall. They got that ball away. It was an awkward one, but McDougall makes them pay and improves the scoreline as far as Southampton's concerned with 6.5 minutes to go. Well, they had a lot of room on the edge of that area and just inside it as Boyer got the ball. The ball chipped forward. It looked as if Sullivan was going to get the ball away. Perhaps there's a misunderstanding between him and Keelan, and Ted McDougall, as everybody knows, cashes in on that situation. 3-1 then.
And that's how it finished, 3-1 to Norwich. And indeed, a wonderful return to English football for Martin Chivers, who said afterwards that naturally he was glad to be back, but also that he thought that his old club Southampton would more than hold their own in the First Division on their performance yesterday. There we are then, another season is underway, and with it memories revived of some of that magnificent shooting from the World Cup. Joe Mayo, Tony Curry and Liam Brady all learned the lesson well, that's clear, and nobody produced a more skillful goal yesterday than Trevor Cherry. It's good to be back.
Mayo turning past Tony Kenworthy, and what a magnificent strike at goal from Joe Mayo.
And Curry made a beautiful overlap. Oh, and what a beautiful goal by Tony Curry. Stapleton's up there. MacDonald's looking for it too. Oh, what a goal! There's again Tony Curry, that little bit of acceleration, the cross coming in low. Cherry with a shot. Oh, yes!